Remember when Vice used to be the cool kids out there, right? Oh, they used to have all of those, oh, what effects can you achieve by just having a little bit of a psilocybin mushroom in your system, man? Or what's happening over there with the goat fuckers in Guatemala? Or what's happening in the Middle East? I spent an entire weekend backpacking through the mountains of Afghanistan. I found out there's a couple of Taliban caves in there, but they're totally fucking furnished, and it's great to be out there. And now all of a sudden they're just peddling fucking shit. Like, while many vets are being outed as far-right extremists, one branch keeps popping up when it comes to neo-Nazis. They are trying to smear the Marines as being full of neo-Nazis. They deleted this tweet, but thanks, James Lindsay, for keeping it around in everybody's mind. But you know what, Vice? Just something we haven't done in a long old fucking time, but we're going to be going through this hyperbolic horseshit here, tearing it apart, line from line, just because I don't want anybody to be getting away with this shit anymore, okay? Went hard yesterday on Afghanistan, on Australia, on the NDP and the Liberals smearing the PPC for being extremists. Now, Vice wants to smear the United States Marine Corps as being full of neo-Nazis. Let's return the favor, shall we? While many vets are being outed as far-right extremists, one branch keeps popping up, and when it comes to neo-Nazis, the United States Marine Corps says this soy cuck. Oh, I want to say it. You guys know the word. Look at what this asshole just fucking, what he writes about. Oh, he's so scared. Ben Makuch. Neo-Nazi leaders get prisoned for disturbing threats against journalists. Infamous Capitol Hill attacker was allegedly posting inside neo-Nazi chat room. Allegedly posting inside a neo-Nazi chat room. Okay. Edgelord sorry for threat to firebomb Israeli embassy that prompted FBI raid. This dude's doing the fucking serious work now, isn't he? I bet you his wife's boyfriend is really proud of the work that he does. Last Friday, the Department of Justice released one of the latest in an endless string of indictments involving white men subscribing to the tenets of the far right and planning attacks of terror to the U.S. Okay, planning but not following through on, and that it's the Department of Justice, and you only singled out white men. Okay, cool, I see where you're coming from. The document also had an all too familiar detail. Former American service members using, prosecutors claim, their trademark plan of attack. What? Although it has unfortunately become commonplace to see veterans connected to domestic extremism. Has it though? Like, can you point to any of them? Because we just see a bunch of disheveled soy freaks just running around places like Portland fucking lighting it up on a consistent basis. Or how about everywhere else that got fucking lit up during the summer of 2020. I didn't see a lot of veterans down there. Seen a couple of veterans get shot in the back of the head by a bunch of these fucking weirdos. Remember, Vice, this is the outlet that also interviewed Michael Reinoehl, the asshole who shot the kid up there in Portland trying to get home because he thought that he was a white supremacist because he had a Trump hat on. That same Vice. But yeah, oh no, blame everybody else. They're all neo-Nazis, and they're all right-wing extremists without ever defining what a right-wing extremist or domestic extremist is. You just go ahead and you just suck up to the government. But as soon as somebody's in there that you don't like, oh, government bad. Flip-floppy cocksuckers. In the latest filing, 4 men were charged with planning a coordinated armed assault on the power station somewhere in the United States. Coordinated attack somewhere in the United States. Good job. 2 of the conspirators, Leon Collins and Jordan Duncan, are ex-Marines who were formerly stationed in Camp Lejeune in Jacksonville, North Carolina. They've seen a lot of action in North Carolina. According to the new charges, both men discussed using homemade thermite. Thermite paint. That's what took down the towers, you know. Obviously, it was a coordinated experience. To burn through and destroy power transformers, and also stole military gear, including magazines for assault-style rifles. Okay, how close were they? Were they like, on a scale of 1 to Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping, like, how close were they to actually committing that? Oh, wait. About the same as the Gretchen Whitmer plan that was never going to happen unless it wasn't for a bunch of Fed interference that kind of ended up bringing them all together and flying them in on taxpayer dollars. Oh, okay, cool. Something like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Again, this is Vice not giving you the entire story, but they're telling you that it's 2 20-year-old white men who used to be in the United States Marine Corps, and they were planning to attack somewhere with using something. Don't check my sources. Another former Marine, Justin Hermanson, 21, was implicated in the same conspiracy and was previously charged. This is the third indictment involving all of the accused. The investigators continued to tack on charges from the original filing in November 2020. Okay, so they were talking about doing stuff. Right now, still kind of free speech is legal, but okay. Over the past 3 years, at least 7. How many Marines are there? But 7 former Marines have openly avowed or identified with neo-Nazism. 7. Or the extreme right. Okay, what's your definition of the extreme right? Okay, because you lumped in neo-Nazis, okay? These are fucking designations only you weirdos talk about. There's probably like a dozen neo-Nazis. There's like a dozen white supremacists that are out there. But you guys keep dragging them up. But it's very important. At least 7 have identified with neo-Nazis or the extreme right. What's your definition of the extreme right? Oh, anybody who criticizes anything I have to say. Cool. With some alleged to have been involved in planning terrorist attacks. Some alleged to involved planning. Carrying out anything, on the way to carrying out anything? Or were these all potentially kind of maybe alleged? Okay, I see where you're coming from. The Corps reported to NPR, the unbiased bastion of truth that is NPR. Oh my God, I can hardly believe it. In April, that it had, in the past 3 years alone, found 16 cases of extremism within its ranks. Okay, you dropped the disclaimer of it being far right or anything like that, but it says extremism, okay? Though these numbers account for only a tiny fraction of those Marines who enlist and serve, the problem is worth noting. Why? Because you needed to put something out there by deadline date? Oh, okay. Especially given the United States Marine Corps' past. What? Of being the best trained, most honorable people in the United States military? Not besmirching any of the good names of the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, or Space Force. Definitely not Space Force. Sweet name. None of those other servicemen and women that are out there. It's just, some of the greatest leaders in the world have come out of the Marine Corps. So, tread lightly. Tread lightly. Friday's charges also noted that 4 men had made a video shooting weapons. Oh no, they're definitely extremists because they shot weapons. And wearing the trademark skull mask popularized by the neo-Nazi terror group Atomwaffen Division. Are they though, or are they just skull masks? Like, are you guys just trying to connect 2 dots that don't really have any sort of link except for skulls? Nazis used skulls, which has been under a years-long FBI crackdown and is connected to several terrorism-related crimes. Connected to terrorism-related crimes. Vice, you guys are so good. You are the gift that keep on giving. One of the earliest members of the AWF, Vasilo Pistololis, either Italian or Spanish. Looks Italian, but again, depends on how far back you go in that family tree. You might be finding some relatives that you didn't expect there. Hard to call these guys white supremacists or neo-Nazis, but okay, you go ahead and give it a old college try. Was a former Marine who ProPublica and Frontline outed his involvement in a terror group in 2018. He was subsequently charged and booted from the Corps for his ties to the group. Okay, he was charged, but was he convicted of anything? But he was charged, though. The base, a sister organization to AWD. These are fucking groups that I don't know about or don't care about because they haven't done anything. That has seen over tens of its members. Woo, this is a big group we're talking about. Arrested in the United States and Europe. Also had connections to the Corps. Earlier this year, Vice News broke the story of a former Marine Poolie. Somebody went into Marine training, didn't complete it, but he was there, so that means Marine Corps bad, right? Ryan Burkfield, 21, a Virginia native and one-time member of the base, was deported from Ukraine for his alleged affiliation to a neo-Nazi extremist group. Okay. And for trying to fight in an ongoing war on Donbass? Okay. As a foreign fighter. So, was he tossed out for being affiliated with a sister organization of a potential group or for fighting in the war? Because you're kind of conflating the two here. Oh, let's just jump ahead a little bit. This is getting to be more AIDS than I anticipated. Some of the alleged terror plots tied to the Marines, like the latest involving Collins, Jordan, and Hermanson, are elaborate. Okay, so they're detailed, but does that mean they're actually going to, produce any sort of results? Or are they just needlessly convoluted? Sounds like that. In June, the Daily Beast, oh my god, another bastion of truth, you guys really use good sources, reported that Travis Owens, an active duty Marine, had plotted killing members of the Democratic National Committee and other people of color, okay? With 2 other individuals, one tied to the AWD. Did they do it though? Were they talking about it? Were they making jokes about it? Oh, okay, but the Daily Beast reported it, and don't worry, they're good, okay? Though the plans never materialized. Here's your answer. The FBI investigation that followed led to Owens being booted from the corps for his involvement. Similarly, another former Marine, Nicholas Tyndall, was implicated in a domestic terrorist plot against critical infrastructure in the United States with unnamed co-conspirators. Again, an FBI probe that found unnamed co-conspirators to potentially maybe do something. This is exactly what happened with Gretchen Whitmer. Oh, Vice, I can see why you originally deleted your post. I'm just going to skip ahead to the end because this is just, oh my god, it's so bad. It's so bad. Loose affiliations with people we don't like and maybe some extremist groups. Maybe, don't know. Still, according to Barrick, the Marines have taken a trailblazing approach to the extremists within its own ranks. It was also one of the most proactive branches in the military to recognize it had a problem. I can tell you that when I was with the Southern Poverty Law Center, really, the SPLC, and you're wearing that as a badge of honor? It's probably one that you button to your forehead or your back right next to a kick me sign. We worked with the Marine commandants, my mistake, on the East and West Coast on extremism issues, and the rest of the military didn't listen at all, didn't even care. Because 7 people. 7 fucking people. The Marines were the first military branch to ban the Confederate flag from its bases. Okay. Again, I can see what you're trying to do here. You're trying to conflate something that was never flown in the military. It was only used as like badges that had to be approved by commanding officers. But, okay. Yeah. Oh, see, they did that thing that we labeled as being white supremacist and evil. Yeah, okay. Something Barish thinks could have also attributed to the backlash. Could have attributed, but we don't really know. Follow Ben on Twitter. I think that would be a great idea. Let's check out his page. Ben is a national security reporter for Vice News, host of Cyberpod for Motherboard and Juve Fan. He used to work for Cyberwar on Vice TV and Hulu. That's a face I know I can trust. Oh, and he lives and works in New York City. I'm not shocked at all whatsoever. Congratulations, you're making the world a much better place because you think that there are Nazis around every corner. Cool, hopefully you don't step outside in New York City and get accosted by one of the many homeless people that are out there. Or maybe you do, it'll give you a little spice in your life, you fucking fruit. With that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.